The quickest and easiest way to turn a woman off and run her out of your life, to repel her. A lot of men unknowingly, believe it or not, are making this mistake because they think it's the right thing to do, but it's actually the wrong thing. I got two quick stories I'm going to tell you guys before we get into the meat of this video. The first woman I was with many, many years ago, we were hanging out, seeing each other. Nothing was actually official. We were just hooking up, having sex, and enjoying each other's company. She was a shy, cute girl, and she didn't do much. She didn't have a real personality. She wasn't really outgoing. She wasn't, funny. She didn't have really many hobbies. She went to work and pretty much hung out with some friends and came home, like the typical average girl, right? And about the seventh or eighth time after we hooked up and had sex, and the sex was great, it was amazing, what I noticed was I started to develop feelings, right? Now, granted, she never did anything for me. I just enjoyed the sex and I really liked her. So what I did one night is I sent her this text. After we hung out and hooked up, a couple hours later, I text her, "Hey, I'm really enjoying our time together. I want you to be my girlfriend." Worst mistake that I ever made, or one of the worst mistakes I ever made with a woman, because this woman usually replies back really fast, but she took about 14 hours later to reply back. And I'm sitting there and I'm, kind of on eggshells, like, okay, what is she got to say? Is she got to be my girlfriend? And that's because I had a scarcity mindset. I didn't want to lose that woman. So she finally replied many, many hours later, and she says, "Oh, that's so cute." And I'm sitting there like, okay, cool. So I tried to arrange the next get together and hang out, and she all of a sudden was busy. She all of a sudden wanted to, do other things, and she had stuff coming up. But granted, she didn't have anything really going on outside her work life and her friend circle, right? So she ran away, and I never saw her again. I never hung out with her again, right? It was messed up. The second story I have was I was seeing this woman years ago, and we were hanging out, having a good time. We were pretty much just dating casually together for about 4 or 5 months. And we went to this club, and we were having a good time, having drinks, and the music was going, and I started to get a little tipsy, a little drunk. And on the way back home, I started to express my feelings to her. And I started to say, "Hey, I'm really feeling you. I really like you," and all stuff like that. And now, granted, we had amazing sex for that 4 or 5 months. She was consistent. She was showing up. Everything was great. She was texting. Everything was good. But as we were riding home, I started to tell her how I felt, right? I started to really open up. And I'll never forget, she was smiling a little bit. She's like, "Oh, that's cute." Kind of like the first girl. We get to her place. I fall asleep. I go home. And all of a sudden, she doesn't want to see me anymore. She says, "Hey, I'm kind of busy. I think, we're not on the same page. And I'm not ready for a relationship." And I'm like, wait a minute, I like how things are going. I tried to kind of switch it around. But, we, just drew apart, and she went to do her thing. I did my own thing. Moral of these two stories, right? The thing that's going to turn women off that guys are doing is expressing your feelings to them right away. And above all, you're trying to lock them down. When you try to lock a woman down, what's going to happen is she's not going to want to be with you. She's going to be repelled by you. She's going to be like, I'm good. It's not because you wouldn't be a good boyfriend or long-term companion. It's the fact that you're operating from a feminine standpoint. Women want to be with a guy who has an abundance mindset. Believe it or not, women want to be with alpha males. They want to be with guys who are actually players, who other women want. So when you give your most valuable possession away, which is your commitment, and you tell her how you feel and you open up to her, unfortunately, what's going to happen is she's going to get turned off really fast. It is the easiest and quickest way to repel a woman. I'm telling you guys. So if you feel like, I'm feeling this girl, I really like her, what you need to do is repress all those emotions, all those feelings. And what you need to do is vet her and say, is this the type of girl that I actually want to be with? Or are we just having a good time? Is the sex amazing? Is she just, good in bed, right? What is she actually bringing to your life that will make you want to commit your life, your time, your money, and all your emotions into her? right? That's what you need to ask yourself. Because a lot of guys, they just say, man, she looks good. And they're looking at the exterior as opposed to the interior and seeing her for what she actually is, right? I've made this mistake many times and I would never make it again. Now, a lot of guys might say, well, what if I do want a girlfriend? What if I do want something long-term? That's great. But what you don't want to do is bring it up to her first. And the reason being is, think of yourself like a celebrity. When a guy is a basketball player or an athlete or a football player or in the music industry, right? What usually happens with women? Those women are chasing him down. Those women are saying, hey, pick me. I want to be with you and all stuff like that. And they're trying to, make this guy want to basically be with them exclusively. That's how you have to see women. Women are supposed to come to you and say, hey, pick me. I'm the girl. Pick me out of all these girls, because here's the thing. Once you do decide to pick her, if you go that route, she's going to feel that much more excited. She's going to be that much more honored because you picked her out of all the other girls that you were dealing with, that you were talking to. You took your time and said, okay, you know what? You can be my girl now. You can be my main chick. You can be my girlfriend, whatever the case may be. But too many guys, they're just jumping at the first girl that gives him sex, or the girl that makes him feel good and gives a little butterflies, or that looks good. And what's going to happen is she's going to say, I don't think, I don't want to do this anymore. And she's going to run away because you're trying to force monogamy on her. Believe it or not, a lot of women like dudes who have a whole bunch of different girls, not necessarily monogamous, because women want to be a part of a dude's life who's exciting, who other girls want. It's called pre-selection. I said this in previous videos. So if you think that, well, I'm going to profess my feelings to her, you can do that after she's told you how she's felt. Trust me, if you try to tell her, I love you, or baby, let's be together. I want you to be my woman. I want you to be my main chick, my girlfriend. And you try to do this stuff, you're going to mess up your situation. I'll take it a step further. Let's say you guys are having a good time and you say, hey, I want you to be my girlfriend. I want you to be my woman. Let me ask you this. What other benefits are you going to get anyway? It's just the title, right? And a lot of guys want these girlfriends because, number one, they probably never had one. And two, they can't get sex or other women on a consistent basis. And they think that's the best they can do. And women don't want to be with a guy who feels that, oh, I'm the best he can do, right? Because she wants to know that you still have it in you to get other women. This is what's going to keep her attracted to you, right? So if you want to run her away, what you need to do is go ahead, say, I want you to be my girlfriend. I love you. I care about you, all this stuff like that, before she ever does. Because here's the thing. You want her to bring you the contract. You want her to say, hey, so where do you see this going? And then you're able to decide, is this the type of woman that I want to be with? This is her resume. I want to take things kind of slow still. Or you got to get more experience. Or, we got to, continue to hang out and see where things go, right? You don't want to bring her a contract and say, hey, sweetheart, hey, baby, hey, Jennifer, Sarah, Brittany, hey, can I be your boyfriend? She's going to look at it like, dude, she got to get turned off, right? So what you guys have to do is you have to make sure that you remain calm, that you hang out, have a good time. What's going to happen is she's going to bring up the thought of monogamy. She's going to bring up the thought of, hey, I want you to be my boyfriend. I want to be your main chick, your girlfriend. Can we make this happen? And it's up to you to decide, is this woman the right one for me? Is this woman, has she been cooperating? Has she been showing up all the time? Has she been doing what she's supposed to do? Has she been giving me great sex? Is she able to add value to my life? Right? What is she doing besides the bedroom that's going to put me on another level? Is she bringing peace to my life? When she comes around, is she bringing drama? Right? This is when you make the decision of her being your girlfriend, of you being monogamous, right? Not when, oh, I feel good, I like the sex, I kind of like her, she looks good. Because what'll happen is you'll bypass all her garbage and flaws. I've been there. A lot of guys are there too. She looks really good and they're like, man, they're smitten by her image and her curves and her figure. So what they do is they say, okay, I want you to be my girlfriend. All the while she's disrespecting him. She's playing games. She's doing all these type of different things to him, making his life hell and harder than it's supposed to be, giving him headaches. So then the guy is like, okay, well, she looks good still. I'm still going to just put up with this, right? This is why you need to properly vet women. And you never straight up tell her, I want you to be my girlfriend. I really like you. Can we be together? When you try to force monogamy on a woman, she will always run away. She will always get turned off, because this is not the way a man should be operating anyway. Women want to be the pick of the litter of all the girls, right? Women are actually fans. They don't want a guy who is a fan of hers.